Hello, everyone, and happy Halloween early. Happy Halloween Eve. We
Happy
got
Halloween indeed.
our Happy Halloween trivia special shows tonight. We've been excited about this one, and we're going to switch it up, do things a little different to give some people time to get in here. If anybody comes in here, I've seen that with it being Wednesday night here locally, Tyler, there's lots of trunk or treats going on now at churches and different community centers. So our audience that has kids may be preoccupied this afternoon, but if not, we'll just have fun talking about the Skottie art.
Understandable. Exactly. Yeah, we always have fun ourselves. And hey, we'll just split the gift card 50-50. So
that's right. We'll find something to buy at the Skottie shop, I'm sure, with stuff dropping like it is every week. So
exactly. I kid.
Well, let's get a nice introduction for Tyler here. A little solo layout. It says kitchen drinking. Why not pick the worst time to put in?
No, I like it. Yeah, I've got my alien onesie. I'm a big Buzz Lightyear fan. We got Seth in it. No, Seth is you're exempt from the. You can't win. You don't get the. I'm kidding.
Like Beetlejuice, you say the word Skottie gift card and Seth appears.
It's like, hey. So yeah, no, I had this lying around. I love aliens. I love Buzz Lightyear. I've got a Buzz Lightyear tattoo, so I was like, this is easy peasy. I can just slip this on and be comfortable. So
yeah, I left you on that solo layout a little bit longer. I was typing a message there. So Seth, you're officially entered just for showing up and asking if there's a gift card. So
that's all you had to do, just be here.
It's so easy. Real quick,
let's get you up there now. Yeah,
I am a banana. Stupid fresh mess representing, but yeah, this is that's about as much as you get from me. That's me letting my hair down.
To get a screenshot, that's gonna be a rap album cover. It's just you just going like this with the banana. God,
Mass appeal will be the appeal.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, I told Tyler on the way to church Sunday, we have a 30-minute drive to church, and I wore this to church as a kind of a joke for everybody. And my wife had to hear so many bad puns, and about every 30 seconds, and she was getting really tired of it. But that's why she married me, I think. So
is that when she looked at you? She was like, "Hey, I've got a split," and then just kind of took a second.
Yeah, I used it. I think I did some karate chop at her and did this, and I was like Fruit Ninja. That was probably my favorite. That was my favorite one.
Pretty good one. I haven't heard that one. I like that one.
That was divine intervention. I'm sure. That's all we. No such thing as a bad pun.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Puns exist because they're hilarious. They're just quick, simple fun. When in doubt, joke it out. That's what Skottie says. So.
Hey, it's a good motto to live by. That's what we adhere to here. So without further ado, we're going to hold up on the trivia a little bit just to get, it could be me, you, and Seth in here, and Seth may split here in a second, but we'll try to delay a few minutes. And it's 10 trivia questions. It's not for people to get them right. It's just for fun because they're all highlighted with Skottie's art that we've been sharing in the Scary Skottie and the Skottie Young appreciation group on Facebook that we're all a member of. But it's just something a little fun. This is the sketch of Sam from Trick or Treat that kicked off our 30 days, our day one that was posted to the group. And it's one of my favorites. I like to kick off the month with it. And that's such a fun movie. And I saw that they're doing a follow-up to that movie just this past week. So
I've not seen it, and I will not be seeing it. So
you're not big into scary movies, are you?
I'm not. I don't. I'm a scaredy cat. I like spoopy, not spooky. So I like the more fun, silly kind of stuff rather than the terrifying stuff that'll keep me from sleeping at tonight. So
I can handle some stuff. There's certain movies that just there was a movie called Sinister, I think was the name of it, that might have.
Yes, I've heard. Yeah. In it.
Yeah, that was the last scary movie I saw that I didn't want my wife to go to sleep before me. I was nervous to be there. So I kept accidentally kicking her, like nudging her leg, not kicking her. That sounds.
Yeah, like giving a little nudge, yeah, a little impromptu,
So that one freaked me out. Most movies don't get to me, but like I said, Terrifier, the movie we looked at last week that's got part 1, 2, and 3, I will not be watching that ever.
See, that one I wouldn't mind just because, it's one of those low budget, because we watched a few clips because he's been all over the internet. And like you talked about, it's so funny because the actor, seems like such a nice, down to earth, chill person. Yes. And I like it because what somebody brought up and what's interesting is, and of course I'm going to blank on the show, but he actually referenced that he was taught by an actor from a TV show, like a kids TV show. And I'm gonna have to look this up because it's gonna drive me nuts. But he's very animated and crazy and just silly. And it's like, and when comparing Terrifier to that, it's like people were like, that makes sense now why I like this and why it's appealing, because it's like he's this overly animated, silly, scary person, but it's more so enjoyable or fun almost to watch him because he's so classically trained or so trained, in being expressive and emotive. And you can see it at cons because, he's dressing up, he's going to talk to people and do all that stuff. So that one I wouldn't mind, giving a chance. I don't mind when it doesn't take itself seriously. They're like, all right, we know we're a low budget horror fun film, rather than something, that's truly trying to, freak me out or scare me in some kind of way. So
yeah, if they're too gory too, like that one supposedly is, though,
yeah,
it gets
yeah, it's Ryan Ollie levels for sure.
yeah. If it's done in cartoon, it's one thing because it's so over the top and so extreme. It goes to being a straight up gag. But if it's done live and there's realistic special effects, it gets to be a little bit too much. I don't know. I'm kind of like you about being a little bit of a scaredy cat on some of those, but my wife likes them, so I don't have a choice.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing is because I'm the opposite. I'm like, man, give me the over the top gore. Like I want somebody covered in blood and red, like intestines flying everywhere. I'm like, yes, give me that. I'm fine with, but like you said, if it's more really like Saw, like I can't do the Saw movies because that stuff is just too realistic. The traps and things those people create in their mind and how best to torture a human are just. That's where I draw my line. So
and I could actually with movies like Saw, I could picture someone sitting in the back of my car waiting to abduct me, and it's like whenever you accidentally cut somebody off on the interstate, you like, am I on Jigsaw's list now to have some type of moral punishment happening to me? So
I have enough trauma of watching that movie and coming up from the basement at night, my dad going, want to play a game, and turning off the lights and just shutting the basement door, leaving me in pitch black darkness and just trying to go up. The door's locked. I'm freaking out. And so I was, that was enough for me. I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm done. We can call it there. So.
Well, I can't remember when Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 came out, but I believe that was the first scary movie that I saw. And it wasn't because I was supposed to see it. You know how parents watch movies with kids falling asleep on the couch. And I woke up. So there was commercials with Freddy Krueger. I forget what the commercial's even for, but every time I'd see that commercial come on, I would race to the TV to turn it off. Because we had, back then, Tyler likes to talk about me being a grandpa. Back then, we had the knobs on the TV. Yes. Back in the 80s, so you had to hurry up and run over and push a button to turn it off, and it was but I was also scared to get too close to the TV because he would come out of the TV and suck me in.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think that one for me was my dad introducing me to Jeepers Creepers when I was a kid, and and it's one of those ones where like it's like a silly one, like it's not really like creepy, but like. Watching it as a kid, this guy that would literally just take body parts from people, and that's how I'm like, in that song, it's the song that gives you that Jeepers Creepers, just hearing that.
Careful.
It still gives me, I'm like, I don't want to, let's turn that song off. Let's not play that anymore. So
I got to watch out for copyright infringement too. So
That's fair. That's true.
I started singing, and I was like, edit.
I thought you were more so worried about actually calling, because that's the thing is once you hear that he's there. But no, that is another entirely scary thing. Is all the copyright stuff on YouTube. So
YouTube regulators. That's what scares us the most on this. So, but no, you're exactly right. The end of it too, where the spoiler alert for Jeepers Creepers, where he's standing there and his eyes have been hollowed out.
That's such a great ending and such a terrible ending because it just pans to his face, Justin Long's face, and his eyes are missing, and then I was like, ugh. I read recently there was a totally different ending they had. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, really?
But they scrapped it in lieu of that, and I'm glad they did because the one that I read about wasn't nearly as good as the one that they ended up with. So,
no, that one's pretty creepy. The good thing about that evil, that horror icon, is it only comes around, what is it, every 27 years. So, granted, if you live a good long life, you've got to encounter a chance meeting with it 3 times. So. It's not one I'm scared. Freddy can get you anytime. I mean, he could
exactly. I mean, that's why you're sleeping. That's the worst. So it's like you can't go to.
I love to sleep.
Bed, so.
All right, well, we better move on a little bit, just so we're like I said, we're doing this a little backwards today to give more people time to come in. If anybody does come in, we'll just start doing the things we normally do at the end first. So, Tyler, any new Skottie items in your collection this week?
I do. I've got my Iron Man, of course. Absolutely love this cover. It's such a great cover. This is just the one from my local, comic store. So the CGC one that'll be coming at a later date. But yeah, it's just such a fantastic cover. I was glad he picked me up this in person, and then this one was from my friend at the comic store who he'd shown me his personal collection. This is one of the few that I didn't have, this Ant-Man one, and it's one that I've wanted to add. I just never did. I always love these Ant-Man covers, just playing off of him being so tiny and him getting blown up by the magnifying glass. So very reminiscent of like the new Spider-Man ones coming out, which I think are super fun. And then I have it out here, though. Honestly, it terrifies me picking this thing up, and I'm sure you're the same if you open yours. My Hollow Eve statue came in, so.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's such a great statue. You can see though it's wobbly. So what's interesting the way they did this is it's it has the little pin to insert into the base, but it's magnetic. So it's pretty good. It holds. It's not going to like fall or anything, but it likes to wobble, which makes me weary with these masks on the side. So he's currently just here instead of up where all the statues are until I can kind of figure out, a spot where it can go. So
I love that statue. That is such a great statue. And I know there's been a lot of people criticizing it coming first before some of the other Spidey villains, but that's a pretty iconic look, holding both the mask and
it's such a great cover, and they continue to just knock it out of the park. And honestly, it's one that I'd be really interested in seeing how they do, because I'm interested in the process, of how these sculpts and stuff come together. But I can't see anything. I'm assuming these are separate, the mask, and then they glue them on separately. In the hands, but it's all done so well that it all just seems so seamless.
Right.
The way they hide their seams is really well done on these statues, and like everyone who's gotten this, the box is very big. The styrofoam is very protective of it, which is good because it's one that some of like the Thanos with the balloon, or some of the other ones that have pieces that stick out. I'm more wary of breaking. So.
Yeah, the breakage potential on some of these, especially being the size they are and the how intricate some of the pieces are, is great. And I was worried about that one, but maybe whenever we do the statue review show here in a few months or weeks, we actually have the box of that one come in to kind of see how Gentle Giant or Diamond Select packages that to keep it from breaking, because it looks like it would be very prone to break in the delivery process. So
yeah. Yeah, it's just it's just a lot more styrofoam than like the other boxes, and and it's separate the way they did so like it comes packaged like this, where the bottom piece is slotted into its own little hole, and then same with this one piece. Now, what I find interesting is, and I buy a lot of expensive statues, so a lot of times what they'll do is for things that are attached like this. That they don't have separate, they'll wrap in a foam, or like they'll place foam in between these slots, so that way either paint doesn't rub up against each other, or it just it fills in that void where things can move and kind of break, and gives them, more of a protective balance. And soft foam, because the white styrofoam is good, but it's a tougher, firmer styrofoam to it. So.
And Sideshow back in the early 2000s used to have like a really thick gray styrofoam that was not, it didn't snowflake off when you rubbed up against. Some styrofoam has that, and then they switched over to the more cheaper foam that if you like rubbed your hand down the side, it just sent up a snowstorm.
I love that gray. Funny enough, I got a few. Well, I love when they use that. One of the ones I think that's interesting is and it's so funny because I know more about it, but I recently got my Darksiders bust in, and they're like, shoulder up bust, about 10, 12 inches tall. And what I find interesting with them is they use something called Kaiser foam. And what's so interesting about Kaiser foam is that it's levels of foam. And what's interesting about it is that you can cut into it, and then it's made up of layers. So you can peel out the layers so you can have it as deep as you want. And the only reason I know about it is because I used it for packing my UCS Millennium Falcon Lego ship. It's how I made its base. I bought Kaiser foam, and I cut out where the feet were just enough so the feet could go into it, but then they were sturdy enough so it wouldn't rock around or anything. So that's the only reason I know about Kaiser foam. So when I got it, I was like, oh, this is Kaiser foam. I know about this foam. And
I bought product that has that type of foam, but I never knew that was the name of it. So Kaiser foam, I'll have to remember that. That's to me, that's some of the best, because you can kind of form fit it to fit. And, the less the statue moves around during the delivery process, the better it's going to end up in the long term.
No, it's I think out of all of them, like I said, the gray hard foam is the best foam, because the only thing I don't like about these statues with the Kaiser foam is there's no great way to get them out. They're so deep in that I have to push my hands under, and I'm afraid I'm going to break something. Whereas with these statues, like the Gentle Giant ones, or other statues, those firmer foams have little cutouts so you can, get around. So that way it still protects them, but you're able to, properly remove it without having to, do anything extra like I have to do with the Kaiser foam. So.
Exactly. All right. Well, I'll go big here for just a second. I got to complete the collection. I got issue 5. I had them backwards here, and issue 4 of Ain't No Great came from the Skottie shop. And I'm even more excited about this because now I can join you and Seth.
Hey.
No, I lost it. Well, I could join. Dang, banana outfit. It got me again.
Oh, no.
There it is. It's do I have to send another one? Hey. Megan, I got the Megan tag. I appreciate the John tag. I'm not going to knock.
Hey, yeah, we love a good John tag. So,
but that was the most horrible reveal. Whenever it's I've got 10 of Johns, and then
you held it up, and I was like, John. I was like, I thought they already had John, but we all had John. So,
well, unfortunately, the banana. Whenever I had to position my monitor, it got the fluorescent light in on the other side where I normally sit. So I had to adjust everything around the other side of the table. So I'm left-handed, but all my stuff's on the right-hand side now. So.
Well, I was going to say, honestly, I like this setup more because now we can see the whole Skottie wall behind you. If I could change my desk around and show off my Skottie wall, I totally would.
I might try this going forward.
So I can't, but no, what's funny is you showing off your Megan. I have no idea where my Skottie label is. I know it's around here somewhere. I thought I put it up with all the other ones, and I took them down because I was adding. Because whenever I get a new one, I add it to the John pile, or Megan, or whoever's a new one. And I was going through, and I was like, "Where's my Skottie label? It's not up here." So now I've got to find it somewhere on my floor. So either that, or hope I get another one if I can't find the original. So.
Oh, that's gut wrenching. I'm sure you'll find it. We'll have to check in on you next week if it's been found.
It's in with the comic or somewhere. It's got to be here somewhere. I just don't exactly know where. So.
Oh man. Oh.
Hey, Dre's in.
So Seth had said he had told everybody it was canceled tonight to increase his odds, but Dre's not gonna let him off the hook that easy. So.
Yeah, Dre knew he was lying. So.
Well, Dre, we're still about probably 10-15 minutes away from the trivia, so we'll get maybe it's just be you and Seth and me and Tyler hanging out, and that's cool. We'll get that. we can have some fun with some trivia with that.
Exactly.
All right, so new releases. The Mysterio statue previews has it coming out this week, so hopefully we'll start seeing these pop up. Some pictures in the group. I've loved seeing all the pictures. Sorry, getting distracted. I love seeing all the pictures of the Hallows Eve that are popping up. So it's whenever these start coming, anytime anybody gets pictures, even if you've seen the 10 people in front of you post the same Mysterio statue, please be the 11th person to post it. It's fun. I've even thought about on future shows, Tyler, maybe even highlighting some of the posts, the haul posts that we get in the group.
That'd be cool, yeah, like a new releases, but like Skottie, not Showtime, but like some new section, where we can show off some of the more recent posts would be cool.
Yeah, and I mean, people are very proud of the Scotties they get because they're really cool additions. All the people that post, even if it's a single book or collection, it's cool to see somebody add to their collection, especially someone who appreciates it. So.
Yeah, you always got to think, that was one of us at one point. Some of us or most of us started with no Scotties, or all of us started with no Scotties, and then you got the one, and that was your first one, and you get more from that. So, it's fun because it's they're excited, because it's their first time getting a statue, maybe, or whatever it is. So.
But yeah, and as Dre says here, I think we can all speak for that. Even if Skottie wasn't in Italy, I'd still be upset not to be in Italy, just because it looks like a beautiful country. But yeah,
I was lucky enough to visit once with family. It is an incredibly beautiful country, but I am jealous because of Skottie and also Jorge, because I've seen already a picture of somebody getting something signed by both of them, and I'm like, man, I would love to get my Middle West or my Me You Love in the Dark, or even Ain't No Grave, like just get all that stuff signed by those two guys. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. And the Stupid Fresh Mess group had posted, or page had posted about these issues coming in, where they compared Skottie's original Wonderful Wizard of Oz #1 from February of 2009 to the I Hate Fairyland Skottie ratio variant that's coming out next week.
So good. Yep.
So we'll have this on again next week, but just side by side to see them. And we had talked a little bit about this before, and we'll talk about it more on the next slide, but the homage covers that he's doing of himself, which is, if I was Skottie, we've kind of touched on this, as many people that homage his covers now and make money off of them and just twist them a little bit to add their characters to it. It's like, well, good for Skottie. He's taking the upper hand here and doing the same thing, except using it to promote his own stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's super smart. And, we talked about before the show, I love the fact that, it's cool for the people that know these original covers and even own some of these original covers. And then two, it's cool for people who don't know the original covers and are getting introduced to it for the first time. And so they can go back and find that Human Torch. They can go back and find that Oz book. So yeah, no, I love these so much. These are super cool, and I hope they just keep coming. So.
Yeah, and I wanted to pull this up while you were talking to speak a little bit about the two, because that's one of the things you had highlighted whenever we were having a discussion before the show started, just the different, art influence or art styles that he does in the What If Mickey and Friends Became Fantastic Four Goofy on the left and the Human Torch from 2003 on the right. They're both unique, but they're both instantly recognizable as being Skottie art at the same time.
Yeah, no, and it's super interesting because, I was telling you too that now that I'm taking my morning walks, I'm going back through all those Skottie interviews, and he had brought up in one of them, the fact that, back when doing Human Torch and all that work, it was, hey, whose style am I going to channel, this time? Umberto Ramos, or, those artists that really inspired him. And he would kind of, bounce back and forth between them. And now, he's to the point where he's like, I don't do that. I don't think of, who I'm emulating. I just draw, and I don't think about, hey, is this, me, Skottie? So it's, I love seeing that. I love seeing that evolution. And, I greatly appreciate both styles. And, and that's always fun to see as an artist, your growth and your change and, where you were with, say, something like Human Torch back in 2003. And now 22 years later, not to make everyone feel old, but now you're doing
that all the time, Tyler.
I know. You got grandkids, you know.
I'm 43, which my wife told me last week whenever I said I said, Tyler thought I had grandkids. She said, well, you're 43. You could have grandkids. There's people. I told her,
It's
I
not
said, "Hush your mouth."
entirely out there, so.
Yeah. So I agree with Andrew and Dre here. They both were discussing how cool this goofy Human Torch is. So
Yeah, this is
I'm about that.
every time
Yes.
I think like, oh, my favorite ones come out, he comes out with a new one. So
Oh yeah, yeah, and the whole Disney thing, because it's not a baby variant. It's not his tall figure variant. It's a cool, drawing. I mean, it's
yeah,
something that's different than what we're used to.
yeah, exactly. And that's
So,
honestly, I think one of my favorite things about like these all the Disney ones, like you said, have been, those characters in his style rather than, babyfying them, or like you said, going the opposite direction and the elongated characters kind of a deal. So
with us being in the Skottie Young Appreciation Group on Facebook, we're used to hearing praise from Scottie's work. But if you venture out into other Reddit threads or different places, there are a lot of critics of Scottie's style and of the baby variants or the tall figure. Yep. And I just love the fact that he's putting these out to say, hey, I could draw this kind of stuff all day long if I wanted to. It takes more creativity to create a new style that is your style. That is, when somebody else does it, you're like, oh, they're copying Skottie now, because that's the style that he created. And granted, there's influences from other artists that have and you name some that you can kind of see where Skottie evolved and developed from those. But yeah, just, to me, this is just proof that Skottie isn't, he's a real artist, amongst being a writer and all the other stuff that he does. But yeah, I think it's just good proof.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's, like you said, and the great thing is, he's so great at just not taking any of that stuff, to heart. At least like from our side, it seems like, that he's just kind of rolls with the punches and just does what he wants to, and he enjoys it. Clearly, he's not doing it to impress anyone or change anybody's mind. He's just doing what he loves doing, and it's like, if you don't love it, then that's fine. There's somebody else out there you do love. Go and find them and do that. So
yeah. Well, clearly Skottie's not hemorrhaging fans at all. His number of fans seem to grow a little bit every month.
So exactly, it's just a small minority, but
yeah. Well, we've been discussing this a little bit too. If you've noticed in the comments, there's been some breaking news about CGC. Andrew, our buddy here, has let Seth and Dre, and as Seth says, I check it about every 2 hours. Seth, I wake up at 3:00 in the morning and I check to see if the CGC status has been updated on our Skottie sketches, but. Andrew says they'll be checked in very soon. They're getting over the New York Comic-Con submission influx. And for any of you all that follow CGC or CGC Signature Series on Instagram, you've probably seen Andrew a dozen times during the weekend of New York Comic-Con. He was popping up and introducing a lot of the activities that CGC was putting on that day. So, but good to hear that they're coming out soon. That's exciting.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm the opposite. I'm like, it's going to be one of those things where it shows up at my door and I'm like, oh, sweet, it's finally here. So I'm used to waiting. I pre-order statues a year plus out in advance. So I'm used to waiting. I just kind of, hit that buy button and then just kind of wait till it gets there. So
well, real quick before we move on, the Amazing Spider-Man 65, this is the 5th cover. And you all couldn't see me counting on my fingers off screen. But yeah, this is number 5 that has been introduced. So 5 more to go. We're halfway there, and they seem to get more creative every time he releases an image for one of these.
Yeah, it's like I told him. I said, I can't. I'm just gonna quit saying this is my favorite until they're all released. And it's like Megan said, once they release them, they're gonna have to come up with a poll and see, what the actual, final favorite is. So
yeah, it's been really good so far. I think the last one has probably the Vulture one is my favorite right now. But they're all pretty good. They're all great. So I'm not gonna knock any of them.
I know. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. Yeah, that's great, Andrew. Yeah, like I said, yeah, I'm. I'm pre-ordering a whole bunch of stuff. So, but it's that I honestly keep forgetting because I'm still so new to CGC. I honestly keep forgetting. But I will say I was a little bit bummed because I still don't have my notes on my my Moon Knight grading. Why I got a 9.4. I don't think it'll ever be added. I didn't think it was going to get a 9.8. But every now and then I'll be like, hey, I wonder if they added their reasonings or whatnot. So
Well, that'll be a good question. Maybe we can ask Andrew in the future on something. So, um, the news from the Skottie shop this week, of course, broke last week that something is killing the children. Issue 0. I believe this comes out November 6th next week, and they had their copies in, but the 500 the variant on the right there, the one that had a 500 edition side, sold out. I thought they had CGC versions still available, but I checked before the show, and it is completely sold out. So there's still the regular variant, it's still got a low edition size. There's only 1,500 of those, so I wouldn't sleep on that one. I would try to get that one as soon as possible.
I was going to say it's not surprising, with the 500 limit for that variant one, the all white variant one. So,
and this goes perfectly with the Halloween theme too. It's got if you like killing creepy monsters, this is the perfect book for you. So,
I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited to get it and finally dive in and hopefully have a new series to dig into. So.
I can't believe I haven't mentioned this yet, Tyler. Kudos to Tyler. He if your eyes are a little bit enlivened tonight by seeing the orange screen and the spider webs, and not dulled by my baby blue that I have for the background, Tyler spruced up our slides a little bit tonight and you'll see as we get into the trivia questions some of the art that he added to it. But this looks a whole lot better than my boring blue screens that I did. So very well done, Tyler. I meant to say that early on, but I forgot.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's something I like. Dustin knows because I talked with him about it. But I'll eventually be changing up our graphics. I love theming and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we'll have a solid kind of look. You can see some new stuff like the Skottie shop. Those little bubbles I added, the speech bubbles. I thought those were fun and this one I knew we had to go big because we're doing a giveaway and it's Halloween, so it was fun to just kind of throw all this stuff together and it only took a little bit of time. So hopefully I can continue to do it in the future.
Well, no, very well done, Tyler. I was impressed when I saw it, and I'm a tough guy to impress. No, Tyler did the word bubbles, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. And then he did the orange and the spider webs, and I really like it. So he did a great job on it. I just like to give credit when it's due. Very well done. Real quick before we get into our trivia, this has nothing to do with anything, but a few weeks ago when we did our daily sketch show, maybe that was last week. Do you remember a band called Emil and the Sniffers that we had? That somebody wished Skottie would do? Well, just completely random before we go on to get into our trivia, I was on Facebook today and I started seeing ads for Emil and the Sniffers, and I thought, so. My phone is right beside me during the show, so thank goodness.
I was going to say I didn't get an ad, but I saw somebody else mention them somewhere. I can't remember where. I think it was for a statue or it was something, and I was like, "That's so weird." I was like, "I know what that is now because of our daily sketch talk." So
I would have.
Funny that you also had a run in. So
it's funny and scary at the same time. And to go back a couple slides, just a real quick note. I saw this before the show too. It's not Facebook listening to me or anything, but with the Oz cover there, something really cool that I talked about, we may want to even talk about in the future. 21 years ago today, Wicked was released on Broadway. So it is out for officially 21 years on October 30th, let's do the math, 2003. So with the show coming out and the Skottie's, Skottie has mentioned before his love for Wicked, the musical, and the movie coming out this year, and Skottie's books that brought him to a lot of mainstream Marvel people and Eisner Awards, the Oz, maybe something we get discussing a little bit.
Totally, for sure.
Now to go from something of such hope and something so fun as Wicked to the bummer that was this, and I guarantee that as sad and upset as all the fans were that they're not going to get a chance to get this black and white Virgin variant of the second printing of Absolute Batman, Skottie and Megan and John and the team at Stupid Fresh Mess were probably doubly gutted about that. So,
it's in when you've seen it in their post, how frustrating that's got to be, and thankfully there's people who have even had that experience of having bad printing of something I saw on like the Instagram post, and thankfully for the most part people are understanding. As bummed as they are, it's thankfully not going back to Stupid Fresh Mess and them, because again it's not a them decision, it's their decision not to print it again, but to have that happen, that's their money, their investment, their time, all that stuff. So,
well, I'm really hoping whenever the Superman and the Wonder Woman get released, maybe in the future they'll do a set or something with it, because like Seth said, this is such a really good sketch art. And, he's already claimed the absolute Superman original art when he goes up, so nobody else can speak for it. We know Seth's a huge fan of that. So
yeah, Dustin and I are fighting over the Batman, so.
That's right. The wide boy Batman, to quote Tyler. So I'll take the I'll gladly take the Wonder Woman one if that's what's down with. But yeah, we were all upset about this, but like I said, Super Fresh Mess, I'm sure, was doubly upset. And if they don't get our money from this, I guarantee they'll get our money from something next month. So,
well, who knows? Maybe hopefully they'll turn it into a print one day. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's with the unoriginal art possibility for all this stuff. If you like the black lines and the sketch from this, you may have another opportunity down the road for it.
Fingers crossed.
All right, I think that's everything. We come to our trivia portion of the show. So this is the point where if anybody says anything, you get a chance to win $25 gift card for the Skottie Shop. And so far, Andrew, Seth, I got to write these down because we're going to do the wheel next week and actually figure out who the winner is. That's how you get them back next week, Tyler. We try.
I was like, man, next week, but I was like, good move.
Yeah, suckers and gimmicks. That's what we're about. And it's like, no, we don't want the YouTube numbers. We just like people to talk with. That's all. This is our therapy for the week, so we got to enjoy it. All right, let's see who we got.
I'll just say, add another name to the list there. So.
And if you've got a name that I won't be able to identify you with in our Facebook group, please let me know who you are, because I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to get this. Z Summers. It seems like that name is familiar. I'm probably going to butcher it, but all right, we'll figure it out. All right, here we go. So the very first one, this was the red rum. I got to be careful. I start talking, I'll end up giving the answer out just in the little, but. This one is the red on the art that Skottie did for Danny here is so good.
Yeah.
I wonder how he sketched this out, like how he planned for this one to be able to get the red with no black lines there. If it's just all freestyle, or if it's whenever he does like his printing on the screen and then prints it out.
I could see him doing the sketch digitally, printing it, and then then just having the blank one on top, and then having like the light box, just going underneath it. Or maybe I'm sure he probably had just freehanded it too, knowing Skottie. Again, his line work is just so clean and confident, like he can go at it. So
no doubt. And Andrew, like I said, if you make a comment, you're going to get a chance to get on this. But I'm gonna say we'll change the rules up. If you answer one correctly first, you get an extra drawing in it. You get an extra attempt in there.
So. Now we're adding some. What's funny is, so are we going to read these out? Because we didn't even get to read it out. People are just blurting out the answer.
I don't know. We're kind of making this up as we go along. So
I say let's read them out. Let's have some fun with it. So, I mean, granted, they've already answered, but I'll take the first one. And what was the name of the hotel that Jack Torrance was the caretaker of in The Shining? And as Andrew pointed out, Overlook Hotel. So Andrew and Dre both had it there. So.
All right, congratulations, Andrew. You got the point for that one. All right, before I'm going to click to go to the next screen, and you read it real quick, Tyler. Before I start talking,
I want answers after I get done reading it. So.
Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
All right. What is the first name of the heroine of the first Nightmare on Elm Street, released in 1984?
I almost started. I don't think I can.
I know that. Yep. I knew what you were going for as soon as that first note hit.
Yeah.
I have to get some stock music. In.
Close, but yeah, wrong gender, and I know what you did there, and I like it, and I appreciate it as a Stranger Things fan. But so. We've got, and the great thing about it, I mean, Google's right there next to you. None of these are super hard. None of these are gonna. There's one question. It's the Halloween question that even as I was framing the question, not here for the giveaways, just a fan. Well, Dre, you're entered into the contest anyway because we like you,
whether you like it or not. Exactly.
Just for fun. Yeah. So yeah, Seth's got it. That's right. It's Nancy, one of my least favorite characters on Stranger Things. But it's hot take. But yeah, this the Freddy here. Skottie has did several Freddys. This is probably my favorite of the one for being the character I like the least. This is one of my favorite Freddys that he's did at least.
I love, looking at it again, the circles within the lined inks, like going over it with the whiteout pen. That's super cool. So I really dig that.
Oh yeah, it's very much here. Once Dre's making me feel like I'm not this old, guys. 1984. Yeah, it's like 100 years ago. You're killing me, Dre.
I'd say I'm with you, Dre. I'm off 8 years with this. So I've seen. I don't know if I've seen it all the way through. I know I've seen good chunks of it. So, but again, I'm not a big horror person. But eventually I'll have to give it a watch through. So,
but it's kind of one of those movies that it's been around so long that you've heard enough of the storyline that you probably could be able to quote the story as well as someone that originally saw it in 1984 and hadn't seen it since. So, yeah. You wouldn't be. Nancy lives at the end if that spoils it for you. But yeah, so follow Nancy. And look, the Spider-Man, kudo, and the fact that not to spoil it too much, but that you used multiple different variants of the Spider-Man throughout the thing. Yeah,
I did. I went through all the covers and picked out the ones that I could easily snip out and made sense. Hanging up. He's got quite a few of them hanging upside down. So it worked out well. So
with the white background too, so hopefully it made it a little bit easier to not have to. It
did, yeah. There's still some I left a little bit. You can see it on the web. I'm looking at it now. There's a little bit I left on the web, but again, I was doing it quick, so I wasn't worried too much about the perfection.
I just ruined it for Z there. Uh-oh. Hey, Tyler, talk amongst yourselves. I just got the dreadful my laptop's about to die. So
oh no.
I get the banana's gonna time out. I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Okie dokie. Oh goodness, the fact he doesn't have it plugged in. I thought he would have had it plugged in. Yeah, spoilers now. I don't have to see the movie. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, eventually I'll get there. I'll watch it. Again, I'm not a big horror, but I know all the classic horror films. So yeah, rookie move. Yeah. Thankfully, I'm on my desktop computer, so I've got this thing hooked up to a backup battery just in case we lose power even. So, but that's just because our place has been hit by lightning twice and has had our appliances fried. So I not taking any more chances after that. So Yankees or Dodgers? Neither. I'm not a baseball person. I did kind of follow the Braves, being born and raised in Georgia, but I don't much follow baseball. So I like the rivalries they have, though. I like how heated people get over which of their teams. So.
Okay, I'm back. I might have to mute myself because I can't breathe. took off running up the stairs. So
I hear you. Well, at least you're plugged in now. So
I was fighting my door. A box had fallen in between my basement door upstairs, so I couldn't even get out.
Oh no!
I had about this much space, and I was trying to move the box, but
trying to squeeze through. Yeah,
it's all working. Man, that had to be a ridiculous sight for my wife to see me running through the house in a banana costume, screaming, "Where's my Trojan?" But anyway, all right. All right, we'll go on to the next one. You ready to read it?
Yep, ready when you are.
All right, here we go.
What actor played the father of Christina Ricci's character in the 1995 film version of Casper? Love that movie. That movie's so fun. It's one of my. That's a perfect example of a spoopy movie. It's fun, yes. Not scary really at all. Just a family-friendly, fun movie. So.
Exactly. It's another 95. I'm guessing too. It's a not too old of a movie, so most people probably have had a chance to see that. Or
I've seen it for sure. If you haven't, definitely give this a watch. It's a super fun one. Yep, Seth's got it.
He's got it, man. He's racking up here.
Banana Dustin.
Well, I went to plug my.
That's exactly right. President Bill Pullman That's exactly
right.
Independence Day. Another great movie. So
Yep. And the Bill Pullman, I always think that this is our Independence Day. That's right. Even though that's a Randy Quaid movie, but I always think of Bill Pullman as, I think, oh man, R.I.P. rest in peace. And Bill Pullman's still alive. I don't know. I think of Bill Paxton.
Oh man, well, definitely R.I.P. for Bill Paxton. Such a great actor.
Yes, but Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman. He's still acting. It's just very, it's not anything crazy big mainstream, and it's not as often now. Because I looked it up recently because I watched him in I think it was the newest Independence Day, because he came back for it. Most everyone came back for it. So.
Well, he's also in the movie, the TV series that was Jessica Biel starred in the first season. Gosh,
I don't know if I know that one off the top of my head.
It's something with the word center in it, I think. But yeah, he's like a detective or a cop in it. And we watched the first couple of seasons, but had a huge.
That's understandable. She is super cute in that movie, so.
I think Sleepy Hollow. It was not too long, right around that time, or a little bit after.
Man, Sleepy Hollow. Now that's more of a spooky movie. So.
Yeah. Let's see. All right.
Yeah, Goated and Predator 2, Bill Paxton. That and Aliens. So.
All right. I think I've got my composure back now. It was a struggle there for a second. All right. You ready for the next question, Tyler?
Yep. Fire away.
All right.
Who was the composer of The Nightmare Before Christmas?
And you could probably name one of two composers and get it right. There's only like two that are like really roll off the tongue. So
yeah.
I don't think he's too nice of a guy either. But
he, as most people we're finding out, are not too nice. Unfortunately, it's just a matter of when it comes to light. Unfortunately, so.
Great. Don't we all?
I know. Hey, look, we got a new person, and they got the answer right. So
good job. Yes, and she gets a point for showing up and a point for getting it right. So congratulations. And in case you don't know what, since she just popped in, this is for a $25 gift card for the Skottie shop. You get a point just for being here. We're really big in participation trophies. Almost lost my composure again. And you also get a point for answering a question right, being the first one to get it right. So congratulations on that one. Yeah, Danny Elfman, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's married to Bridget Fonda, and it does not sound like he's a very nice person at all.
That's funny. Yeah, Ray.
That's right. You're right. Oh, I'm glad you said that. I'll put you down, Ray. We're gonna give the card to Chandra. She's the one. So no, glad to have you with us, Ray. Glad to have you here. All right. I don't even know what question we're on, but you ready for the next one, Tyler?
Yes. I'm ready for the answer for this one and then the next question.
Oh, and let's appreciate the Spider-Man there.
This one was honestly my personal favorite. It works so well, him just pointing at the answer. So this one's my personal favorite I set up. So,
man, I'm sorry, Tyler. That Charger fiasco's got me discombobulated. So I'll get back with it here in a minute. I think I'm about to have a heat stroke too, because all the heat rises, and it's like right here. If I did this, there'd be a little steam coming out the top. So
yeah, that's why I'm getting the water. I've got the fan going, but it's still not enough. I'm still sweating bullets. So
yeah. Oh my goodness. We're almost there. Oh.
So what city was the book/film It set in? And this one, when we give the answer, I'll give like one of my favorite things I like about the answer. This is one I actually really quite like the first movie. Again, I'm not a big horror guy, but the blending of the school kid group mixed with like the horror elements of it. Yep. And Ray's the first one again there. Ray got it. So
he's all over it. Congratulations.
He is, yeah. But yeah, the second movie, when the trailer came out, I can never get it out of my head. Whenever I think of it, all I can think about is that old woman in that room, and she's like, nobody ever really leaves Derry, and then her just like skittering across naked in the kitchen, and you're like, what is happening? Like, what is this freaky woman doing?
Yeah, I forgot all about that. I'm glad you said that, because that's another one that'll keep you awake at night.
That one. Yeah, he's. I'm kind of like, I'm not terrified of clowns, but I'm still not their biggest fan, especially since they're used for such scary roles. So, and Skarsgård did an amazing job, especially being able to do the whole cross-eyed thing. Like, props to him for that. So,
well, you had talked a little bit pre-show about Tim Curry and seeing him in your first Broadway show.
Him being the original, so
trying to have to follow him in a role would just be a nightmare. I mean, that would be very intimidating to do. So, but you're right. Skarsgård did such a wonderful job as the character. So creepy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I liken it almost to like Heath Ledger doing Joker. Like, he solidified and made it his own thing, and and they're each separate in their own ways. So, we're pulling something off the wall here. Here we got the.
This is the daily sketch from today that I shared.
Hey, look at that.
So
that forehead.
The forehead, and just there's something about the
There you go.
There you go. So this one, we'll get there.
Yeah, that's great. I love the way he did the square, but then broke it with the balloon. That's a nice touch there. So
yeah, that was an old Felix comic shop purchase whenever Skottie was directed by him for a short period of time. So, but yeah, that's one of my favorite Halloween drawings, and just glad I was able to get it. But that's why I waited to day 30 to share it, just because I was like, Skottie is also, if y'all have been following him on social media, he has been posting Halloween pictures and scary pictures. And I tried to do a challenge to not post what he's posted, except it's so hard because we're getting to the end and there's only one picture left. I doubt he's going to post one I'm going to post tomorrow. It's the same one I posted last year, but just to try to coordinate that one. And the Little Shop of Horror, that was the one when he posted that. I don't have that in my Halloween photo folder on my phone, so I had to add that. I was like, that's a bonus one. It's not even lined up for it, but I love that one. That one was really cool.
No, that was a great one. Yeah.
All right, you ready for the next question?
Yes.
All right.
What actor played Principal Arthur Hembree in the 1996 film Scream? And that one's that's a great sketch. Again, that long, the long limb. I love, again, the way he does his shadows and stuff like this, where he's, again, because it's such an interesting inking something that's all black, because you got to think of that negative space. You got to think of leaving the white, or if you don't, going back in with the white pen and adding to it. But he does such a great job. He does something like little wispy stuff coming off the thread. So
yeah, I remember
such a fun one.
When this one came out, whenever this one was posted as a daily sketch, if you like me, you always like to read the comments, what people think about the different daily sketches. And there was a lot of love for this one, and people wanting to buy it. And it sold really quickly, much like all of his other daily sketches. Dang, man, there.
Seth coming in here, yeah. Or no, Ray got it first. That's funny. I saw Seth's comment first.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a point to both of them. We are being very loosey-goosey with the points tonight, but yeah, they both that one. You're right. I saw Seth's name on there, but then I blinked and Ray was before him, and I thought, how in the world did they do that? So there we go. We're gonna and of course Henry Winkler, the Fonz. Yeah, that was another excellent Miles Morales hanging upside down Spider-Man. Nice touch. But I love Henry Winkler, so yeah, this answer kind of
such a cool guy. He was at MegaCon, and I kind of kicked myself. I debated going to see him at his table, and I wish I had. I think he's coming back, maybe, but he just seemed like such an awesome person. So,
well, I think he does this at a lot of conventions. But whenever he came to Nashville for one of my very first cons, and is one of my oldest daughter, she was, gosh, I forget how old she was, but she's the only one that went with me. Me and her went, and he was there, and it was a Sunday morning, and the lines were real short. and he did a magic trick for her with a quarter. And I've heard he does that with a lot of little kids. And we got her picture made with him and got a signed photo. But yeah, he's such a cool guy. One of the producers and creators of the original MacGyver too. So super talented man. I loved MacGyver more than I loved Happy Days. So I give him a lot of credit for that.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. MacGyver was such a cool show.
Yeah, Waterboy, Here Comes the Boom. Those are both great films.
I agree you have a set too. I loved him in Parks and Rec. He's also really phenomenal in Barry. If you've not watched Barry, such a good show. I really like that show.
Yeah, I have thoughts. On the end of season 1, and I do recommend it. Yeah, I mean, who would knew that?
It's an intense show, but yeah, it's if you can handle it, it's good.
Yeah, I want to say some things about the end of it, but I won't in case anybody because it is worth watching. But yeah. The end of season 1 frustrated me, but yeah, that's all I'll say. All right, you ready?
Yes.
There we go.
What brand of toy was the original Chucky in the Child's Play film?
I didn't put the year this came out either. I'd like to be consistent on my question, so I should have.
2019, it looks like. I think that's what I'm reading.
Oh no, the film, the Child's Play film.
The film. Gotcha.
Just to make everybody feel old.
The movie came out in 2019.
Yeah, the Chucky that Skottie did, where he's an adult and like Pinocchio's there beside him, and he's like a pretty rough looking. He's no longer a cute little doll or whatever he is.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. I should have used that one this year, but
no, I love this one. It's same with the red rum, the Shining. I love his use of the red here, just, the trail that he's leaving and the knife. So, and
then the fact that he signed it over by the left side of the trail too, so your eyes have to just follow
fun. It's like you go from left to right. So,
I thought everybody'd be a little bit faster with Google than that. So
I'm just imagining. Well, I always kind of forget they have a slight delay for us. So there's a few seconds because we'll say something and then somebody will comment something and I'm like, we're already past it. I'm like, oh yeah, the slight delay. I kind of forget that. So
yeah, whenever I watch some of the other shows that where people are selling stuff too, and I sometimes I have a 25-second delay. So it's,
oh really? Wow.
Yeah, so you got to account for that, and either that or everybody didn't like my take on Barry and decided, hey, I'm done with this show.
I know. And now it's just cricket noises. So
yeah, I've got 4 entries. I'm done. I'm good. So Zach. All right, did Zach change his name or am I? We had a Z Summers and we've got Zach Summers. So
I think he must have. Yeah, I think he updated. Oh, there we go. Raisin.
No, unless I looked up the wrong answer. I'm gonna have to fact check myself here. Wow, this is riveting. This is good TV right here.
If only, we could have had some. He's trying to get multiple entries.
No, my buddy. I had my buddy, and that he is my buddy for that. Play Pals is the toy company, but not the specific toy. That's like, saying Mattel instead of saying Barbie or something like that. So close.
I guess, the way it's worded, the what brand of toy maybe as kind of throwing people off, but.
Yeah, I could have asked a better question. I was trying to ask a question.
No, I mean, it's a good, yeah, I mean, it's, yeah.
Yeah, what kind of doll was he? He wasn't a bad guy. He was
lots of hugging bears in Toy Story.
I don't know, but I love Chucky. Well, you know what, Ray?
I think we might have stumped everybody.
Yeah, this is the portion of the show that I feared the most. Dead air.
Well, you could always just reveal it for fun. So.
Yeah, the dancing banana we're waiting to get. All right, well, we'll just move on from this one because this is not very fun at all. Good guys, he's a good guy.
Guys.
So yeah, so that was the brand. That's why it said on the box. that was the brand of toy he was. But yeah, Ray, you're so close. The play pals. I didn't even know that, so that you educated me a little bit tonight. So,
we're all learning tonight.
That's right, as a team. All right. Oh, yeah. Let's.
I'm about to say now we've gone a little bit too far.
This is just all over the place. All right, Tyler, go.
Just one tap at a time. The prop team from the 1978 Halloween film used a painted mask of this famous actor to get Michael Myers' signature look. You may have caught a glimpse of the answer if you were lucky enough.
Who is? This is
but
the
really,
Jeopardy.
you know, this one I feel like is one most people know. So
yeah. Yeah, the name on the box. You were going deep, Ray. You were going real deep on that one.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. Yeah, where it was looking a little bit too much into it. So,
and I think the answer to this one is one that probably prior to 10 years ago people wouldn't have known, but now it's yeah. Zach got it. William Shatner. That is correct. But it's popped up on so many trivia things on Facebook and on Instagram and memes that I think it's become more of a well-known question. So.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. I mean, it's such a funny, once you know it and you see it, you're like, you know what? I get it. I see it now. So.
And that Michael Myers, that's another one that's on the wall back there in the collection. I should have pulled it off too, but what pulled me to that was just the blue. Where Skottie, a lot of his daily sketches now are more just black and white.
Yeah.
But the colors, when he does at them, it kind of differentiates them from the rest of the drawing. So
it does. Yeah. We talked about, I like when he does the colors of the markers, or back when he would do the pages, the page itself would be colored. So yeah, I love when just that little bit of colors thrown in there just to pop it off a little bit more.
So, and as Dre said, 1978 is before I was born. So this predates me as well, but the original Halloween and John Carpenter has some ties to the place I work, Bowling Green, Kentucky. So I had to include at least one question from that.
There we go.
All right.
How many years passed between the first Beetlejuice and the sequel Beetlejuice?
Yeah, this was a question that was answered by Tim Burton in a question whenever someone asked when the third Beetlejuice was coming. And he referenced the time period between these two. But I didn't mean to go to the next slide there. My finger accidentally tapped it.
No, that works. That's totally fine.
So you picked up on a quick one. The great thing about this question is people can just start shouting random numbers and they will eventually get it right. Ah, dang. Ray's all over it.
Yeah.
That was actually quicker than I thought somebody'd get to, but yeah. And just to give the score going into this, I don't know how many questions are left, but Andrew has 2 points. Seth has 4 entries. Dre has an entry for being here and participating, which means Dre will probably win this one and make everybody mad. Z Summers / Zach Summers / one of the Summers has 2 points, and Ray, I don't know, does Zach get 2 points for showing up when they're 2 different names? I'm not sure how to qualify that, but
I know, yeah. I think we can just give him 1, yeah.
And Ray's got the lead with 5 points, which there is no lead. This is just for entries, but Ray currently has the most entries with 5 points. So, all right. Are you ready for that? I think there's another one. Are you ready for the next one?
There is, yeah. Okay. What animal's blood was used to prank Carrie White in the 1976 film Carrie?
Now, this art's so cool too. This is.
Yeah, another one. I like the use of the space and the paint, the way it's dripping, an upside down drop. Oh, there goes Ray again. So
he's got it.
Quick draw, Ray.
And something funny or coincidental about this is the image that Skottie just shared 49 minutes ago on his Instagram page.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Chris Pacello had a quick comment on it saying wonderful, and I happen to agree with him. This is and Skottie's question, and I'll ask you and I'll ask everybody on the line here just so he can participate as well. What is everybody's favorite Stephen King book / movie?
That's a good question, yeah.
So everybody out there watching, if this is not, you get a point for answering this one too. What's your favorite Stephen King movie?
There you go.
I think my favorite Stephen King movie is Shawshank Redemption, which is I feel like that's low hanging fruit to say that, but Bag of Bones would be my favorite book. I love Bag of Bones, so it was a good.
I am not much of a Stephen King. Again, most of his work is horror. Yeah, he's definitely obviously done more than horror, but I'm just not really familiar with his stuff as much. So, I mean, I've seen a few films. It'd be tough to say, favorite film.
Green Mile, like movies like Green Mile, Stand by Me. I mean, those types of.
I probably have to say Stand by Me would be, and I know that's one of Skottie's favorites. But again, that like I love that kid group getting into trouble story, like coming of age stuff. Like it's just so good. Yeah. Secret Window.
Yeah, I quote that movie way too often with the whole shooter thing. I'll just come up to my wife and randomly say, maybe my name's not Shooter. I love that line. It's so silly. The way John Turturro says it.
Yeah. I hear you, Seth. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be with you there shortly. So.
All right, Zach got another point there. Tyler, I gave you a point for showing up, and I gave me 2 points.
Hey,
we are.
I like it. We did show up, exactly.
All right. Answer's big today. And a great Spidey there to end our trivia. So I think that's it. Yeah, we do have another slide, so everybody don't start signing off yet. The same thing we talk about every week. We're going to get to Heroes. We're going to meet. If it's not 2025, one day in the future, we will have a group meetup. And if you want to be on the show, please contact Tyler or myself, and we'll make it happen. And last but not least, wife said The Shining and Misery.
Yeah, Shining is a good one too. Yeah.
So I'll give. There we go. Very good choices.
More points there.
And Ray's wife, Chandra, very good choice. Misery so good, but the TV show. My mind went blank. The TV show that's on that they did based upon Stephen King's. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy now. There was 2 seasons of it, and Annie, the character from The Shining, was in the second season. And
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I know off the top of my head.
Oh man, yeah, this is gonna bug the far out of me. But it was really good. It was really good. Whatever this show was, you have to watch it.
Good show.
It was so good. Oh man. Yeah, okay. We're gonna skip, or else I'm gonna be thinking about this for a while. But breaking news for all you that like to get political, which is not me and Tyler. We're the Washington Post, LA Times, USA Today. They were scared to endorse a candidate. They ran from the fear of repercussions and blowback. Tyler and I said, forget that. We are official political endorsement for 2024. Let's vote Gert and Larry and get some decent representation up there. Because with our candidates that are up now, I would take Gert over both of them. So that's all I'll say. No political comments, please. This was just more for fun. But and last but not least,
this even caught me off, but I did like it. Gert. I don't know, man. Gert there'd be some interesting changes, that's for sure. So.
Yeah. Well, I think she'd be fair. She'd be tough but fair, I believe.
Tough for sure. Yeah, tough for sure.
You think Larry would actually be VP, or would he be like chief of staff, or would he be the one that kind of follows
Larry
around?
Wouldn't be anything. He'd just be sitting there buzzing, he'd be running his bar. So
yeah. Castle Rock was the name of the show. So Castle Rock season 1, season 2, highly recommend watching it for a delayed reaction. That was I had to find it out because it's worth watching. And Tyler, you don't like scary stuff, you would like this. It's more if you like Misery that type of show. So, but yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
I'll definitely have to add it to the list.
And last but not least, our show next week, November 6th, we'll have special guest Andrew Barbaro, and I'm hoping I said his last name correctly. If not, he can correct me next week. But Andrew's is an employee of CGC, and he's going to come on here and chat and hang with us forever, how long he wants to, and discuss Skottie, discuss comics, discuss CGC, discuss Disney. We don't know. We don't know at this point.
Who knows? Yeah, whatever Andrew wants to discuss, we're game for. So
exactly, he's a big Broadway fan. He said so. You'll be getting back from seeing Lion King.
Yep.
Tyler's about to take off to New York.
True. Yep. I'll be taking off to New York tomorrow. So yep, we're gonna go see Lion King on Broadway. So I'll definitely am glad to share my thoughts on it. So
Andrew had popped in the chat tonight and was talking a little bit with us, commenting, and he said he was also cooking dinner tonight, chefing it up. So he's going to be listening in between. So he may no longer be with us on the show, but hopefully he'll be able to stay with us next week and hang out until he gets bored and runs off. But if anybody else wants to follow him, you're more than welcome to. Me and Tyler have plenty of things to talk about, Skottie related or not Skottie related. We can talk about anything. But it's also fun to have everybody that joined us in the chat tonight. Andrew coming on next week. It's the more the merrier.
Yep. Always appreciate anyone joining in any way, whether it's through the chat or on the show itself, talking with us. So
thank everybody for participating tonight. Thanks for making it a fun show. We had our technical difficulties, but I enjoyed it. I'm seeing two of Tyler now. I'm getting kind of hazy and dizzy because I am really hot. But it's been fun. Tyler, I know you're heading to see your brother this weekend. I would do that, but my hair's all mussed up and it would look wild.
That's why I got the hat on. So
hope y'all have a wonderful trip, a safe flight up there tomorrow for your early morning, and just have good family time with your family and enjoy the Broadway show. That'll be fun.
Thank you. Yeah, we're looking forward to going up there and hanging out with them and seeing a new place and everything. So
it'll be. I look forward to any pictures of the Broadway show. You can even post pictures of the rave if you want to, and show me what I'd be missing if I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I'll post some stuff up for sure. So
all right. Well, thank you all for joining us. Thank each and every one. Next week we will have, while Andrew's on the show, we will have the spinning wheel. Tyler's a whole lot better with coordinating and sharing his screen and doing that. So I'll send him the names and the entries, and one of you 5 will win a $25 gift card to the Skottie shop, and it's going to be Dre. I'm telling y'all, he's got one entry. He probably has a 2% chance of winning. It will be Dre, and everybody will be mad about it.
I say it was, but now honestly, since you're giving yourself a point, I say it's going to be you.
The quote in sync. It's going to be me. Let's get that.
Exactly.
No, I'm not going to put my name in there. I might do it just to see, for chance sake, to see what happens.
The first one, exactly.
But I will not be eligible.
We won't count, but we'll throw ourselves on there just to see. So
yeah, just to make everybody mad. So all right, thank you all so much for joining in. Y'all have a great, safe Halloween. Tyler, sign us off, bud.
Yes, definitely a great Halloween, everybody, tomorrow, and stay messy. And when in doubt, joke it out, and y'all just enjoy continuing to collect Skottie, and we'll hope to see you back next week with Andrew. So
peace.